What, my fellow sorrowers, your magpie is back to bring some more true light to the false light, and more dawn to the dusk.
Patients say they're happy with the system.
To just come in, drive in, get it done and drive out. Very good. It's efficient.
Sorry, did you hear the word happy? Did you hear it once? Because I didn't. When they're not happy with what's come out of the crisis actor's mouth, because a lot of the time the crisis actors ad lib. As I said in the last video, they get too caught up in their moment of fame, their minute of fame, you know. So they usually ad lib, and they don't usually stick to script. And when they do that, the ones that have put them on always state what they wanted them to say just before they say it. So him saying, and you can see people are happy with the results straight away. So that puts a headline on the speech of the crisis actor to come following after. You see,
Leaders say things are improving, but the task isn't easy.
We're working under some really difficult constraints because of COVID. So, for example, the need to
constraints. What you mean, like a dog leash? You mean like a dog chain? Constraints. Yeah. Whoop whoop. Yeah. Whoop whoop. The vocabulary always mirrors their lifestyle. Well, Mr. Magpie's going to take them all out for walkies. Fucking cliff.
constantly change cumbersome personal protective equipment, the need to, for example, create socially distanced wards and waiting rooms. This is complicated and it's difficult.
In June, we featured the story of
Bicycle. Okay, the duality of the cycle. Okay, good and evil, day and night.
Jock, whose hearing is impaired.
The sickle being Kronos, of course. But I'm sure you all know this by now.
Was waiting for a procedure which had been postponed in March.
Cochlear implant. What does that mean?
Black and white, Saturnian. Look at the ear.
So I hear better.
It's not the kid's fault. Leave them out.
Today we heard he's still waiting. Like others, his family's trying hard.
Okay, remember what I told you about the Canaanites being separated into two factions, yeah? The crow's feet and the lion's paw, yeah? Okay. So, here's your pink. Here's your yellow. And here's your duality. These two stand for the two factions, the two pillars, okay? They're attacking the heart, yeah? It's also the grail, the chalice, that can be filled up with either good or evil, okay? Here is a tank. The tank represents war, of course, so it's the war between the two factions. You see this? The sex and violence that they put upon us. One wants the glass half full, and the other one wants the glass half empty. All right? They're corresponding, they're communicating to each other, but not to us. We have to work it out ourselves. Okay?
Hard to get a new date. QPIM, BBC News.
Oh, and the cake, by the way, also ties into sodomy. Okay, a slice of it. Okay, I'm sorry, it is. To jack in, to jack off, to jack up. Okay? 5 is a sodomy-esque number in itself. See, you see how they they put the camera down on the cake with the soldier, right? The soldier's arms out. Yeah. Where have we seen this before? Where have we seen it? If you don't believe me and think I'm reaching because you're thinking rather than feeling in regards to the two factions at war, where have we seen that before? I'll show you. Sorry, I know I brought this up in a few videos. I don't want to start doing like a Yeshua Ben David and show the same fucking images in each one. I know I get what he's doing because it you know, it's processing it, it's getting it into your subconscious. But all I want to show you is the sign, because that sign is two arms holding the serpent. Better yet, holding the worm that's inside them all. Okay, you see this? Keep that image in your head. Imagine you got a head here, okay, and then you got the two arms. So it's bird's eye view. It's my view. Head here, arms out, holding the serpent. Okay, holding the worm. Ready? What's this one? Look, here's the head. You see that? There's the Ophiuchus U, and it would be holding the snake, the serpent, the worm. There you go.
The latest government figures show there were 2,919 new confirmed coronavirus cases reported across the UK in the latest 24-hour period. The average number of new cases reported per day in the last week is now 2,532. Deaths of 14 people were reported. That's those who have died.
Yeah, okay, so 14 UK deaths. Well, 5 is death. Okay, it's also, as I said, a number for sodomy. Okay, so you've got this in here. The last one comes to 22, by the way. 22, a very important number to the Canaanites. Again, it ties into duality, but it's also to do with the idea of like re-demonizing an angel. I don't know how else to put it. Like the reversal of demonizing an angel, so to turn them back into deities, essentially.
Within 28 days of a positive COVID-19 test. It means, on average, in the past week, 12 deaths have been announced every day. It takes the total number across the UK to 41,000.
Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Swap it round. 91, left-hand path.
And 8. France has recorded almost 10,000 new coronavirus cases in the past 24 hours. Its
Point of interest, guys. Hang on. Yeah.
Intensive care has also risen to just over 600, the highest number since the end of June, but still a long way off the peak reached in
There's your
April.
5 once again.
600, the
For
highest
death, for war. That's what this one all seems to be about so far.
number since the end of
Oh,
June, but still a long way off the peak
see it?
reached in 600, the highest number since the end of June, but still a long way off
Your pink and your yellow to energize this war, this feud.
the peak reached in April.
Canaanite piece of dog shit pretending that she's not. See this? Okay.
The French government is meeting tomorrow to
They give too much. The fame eats them up. You know what I mean? They end up looking to the camera and they turn. If you're a true human being, you can sense this when others aren't.
consider tighter restrictions, including local lockdowns. And travellers arriving in England from mainland Portugal will have to isolate for 2 weeks from Saturday morning. Quarantine-free travel is still allowed from the Portuguese islands, the Azores and Madeira. There are
Yeah, sorry, I was falling asleep. My beak was I was falling on my beak that was getting stuck in the keyboard. So yeah, oh yeah, that was it. Pineapples. They like to get pineapples in because it's the pineal gland. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay.
the Union. But people arriving from Sweden will no longer have to quarantine from the weekend. People arriving from Sweden will no longer have to quarantine from the weekend.
Notice they'll try and get this in right at the end a lot of the time, the pink and yellow, because they're energising the last of what they're speaking of, what they're showing you. That's why they do it so quick.
Scotland and Sweden
Ready?
will no longer have to quarantine from the weekend.
That's all they show you. Yeah, sorry about that buzzsaw thing in the background. I'm in my garden at the moment. I swear he's a serial killer. Every single day he's getting that thing out. Yeah, they're Archontic channeling. They do this all the time. You wouldn't think they'd fuck up, you know, with what they're reading because they're receiving, but they still do. Yeah. Oh, heart of iron over the heart of clay. Yeah, mixing iron and clay.
The First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, also announced that customers in cafes and restaurants will be required to wear face masks when they're not
Cheers,
eating and
Ted
drinking.
Bundy.
Our Scotland correspondent, Lorna Gordon, reports.
Glasgow and surrounding areas are the epicentre of the latest outbreak here. But with coronavirus cases now rising across the country, this evening people
False light.
in the city are absorbing the new restrictions being brought in Scotland-wide, imposing a limit of 6 people from 2 households.
Oh, wow, yeah? Yeah, you gonna be that ballsy, are ya? Are you actually gonna? Fuck. Alright, cool. Let's have a bit of fun, shall we, brothers and sisters? Okay. So, you got your G, which is your 7, which is your cycle. Okay? It's also for your Masonic geometry. Okay? As is the umbrella. They believe themselves to be the umbrella, let alone hold it above and over everything else. Okay? But it's the same as the octopus. Yeah? Covering all bases, fingers in all the pies. Yeah? Or fingers in all the cakes, as it were. The cakes being the children. Sorry, but, you know. Yeah. Here's your white sun. Okay? Your false light, once again. It's eclipsing the black sun, you see? That's how they get around that one. And, of course, need I really fucking say it at this point? Your yellow, your pink, your sex, and your violence. And correct me if I'm wrong, but he even has
were allowed to meet.
In terms of
a 3 on his arm for Saturn. Of course he does. Of course. Yeah, so, Deep in Delight. Yeah, they do love their umbrellas. It's not just a Masonic thing. Yeah, it's also, I mean, the octopus is symbolic for Machine Mummy Mean. The umbrella, the way it reaches out, of course, would be the limbs, as I've said before. Okay. The hair that's tied, the strings that are being pulled. Sorry, the ties that bind. Yeah, it also makes a hexagram. Along with this, yeah, the umbrella is also another sodomy symbolism for the anus. Sorry, but it is. Okay. Straws are adrenochrome.
like gatherings and so on, I don't think it's particularly beneficial, especially because young people are getting targeted, like myself, who are said, oh, they're kind of selfish, don't care about other people, but in reality, people just want to return back to a normal way of life.
I don't like masks and stuff. It's a small inconvenience for me.
See what they do with the woman here. Take it back to the beginning. You'll see he's pink and yellow, but here they've done pink, yellow, and then blue for the divine feminine, which is why it's only on the woman.
Are allowed to meet.
Masks and stuff.
Towards the 6-person limit, there'll also be limited exemptions for organised sport and places of worship.
Places of worship. And then they go to this. Hmm. 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 See, that makes me squawk a little bit.
So be limited exemptions for organised sport and places of worship. The
Ding.
First Minister
And then they show their Saturnian church.
said the new restrictions would
With who speaking? Right up at the altar?
be hard for people to hear.
None other but the Scarlet Woman, the whore of Babylon, Lilith. You see?
After 6 long, hard months, we are still asking the public to make.
I'm sorry, is that a figure of 8 serpent on a neck there? Ooh, dodgy, innit? More Archontic channeling here, you see. Shut their eyes and become vessels for the Archons, which telepathically speak through them, and the link is made by the parasite, which is in their intestines. Okay, I know it's a bit out there, but that's your basic biology behind it. There's not much else to it than that. I've seen the worm myself. Okay, so whilst I'm connecting with true human beings, being you, they are communicating with these things, these insectoid, emaciated, deprived monstrosities. Cancer incarnate, that's what I call them.
Make a lot of difficult sacrifices. That is unavoidable given the nature of the challenge we face.
Oh, I thought I might just add, these worms, they're parasitical in the. You see, it sounds out there, as I said, but at the same time, not really. When you consider that, if they have canine DNA, the Canaanites at least, the Tares, then we know that dogs get worms, right? And worms are parasites in that sense. So it's basically a tapeworm. It's black and it's gooey. It's like black goo, but it's sentient and it can move through the body and appear in out of different orifices at different times. I've caught it in some presenters coming out the nose. I believe the cornea of the eye too. Yeah, it's in a lot of architecture around Downing Street and Buckingham Palace as well. And of course, the infamous Eye of Horus, which is actually the Eye of Ajiji, but that's the worm. I mean, that ties more into the reptilian parasitical worm. Close, but not quite the same. Well, that's all parasitical, which is how it ties into the Archons. I digress.
Get and keep
I just thought I'd add a bit more to this one because I know it's a little bit slow.
COVID under control.
Mainly because I keep fucking pausing it. Sorry.
We are in a stronger position than earlier in the year.
There will also be changes to hospitality, making it mandatory for customers to wear face coverings when moving around. This restaurant owner says they'll do whatever is